as you should know, I was trying to break free from like this covert feeling happening to me and these covert activities being drawn in my life for a long time. So that's where love starts to change the game, because when someone experiences that safe place and they can be in close proximity with another whose heart center is also upon the Lord, and it releases that oxytocin, that true oxytocin that can come from true love. But if your love is being gamed up, that's a hormone and a bond that's just unable to carry out that healing agent or allow that healing agent to permeate into the body. And so it's a very vibrant frequency here that we're speaking about when we talk about love, creating the oxytocin and creating the very frequency that our bodies need to heal. So that is why it's in the Gospels to lay our hands upon people in prayer and to really surface exactly where they are at so that we can pray for exactly where they are at. But without two or more people coming together and without the person's mind being okay to be able to play out in that way, what you get is a mind that is then filled with the chemicals and whatever covertly that they did to you, that's going to spin you in a new direction within each and every single prayer that you make. And so that is why within my ministries here I'm bringing it out, because that's part of my testimony, you see. And that was God telling me, well, that's part of your testimony then, due to the abuse of chemical attacks and poisons on your body for their reasons of affair. So true love, the healing agent, is going to calm the stress responses and lower the cortisol levels in our body, and it literally starts to repair the damages done by years of trauma. And so it's also going to trigger the serotonin and dopamine levels that your body needs, that your body creates. And those are neurotransmitters that stabilize the mood and give your body a chance and a will to fight back. That will to live and that will to love. So oxytocin works unlike any other pill out there, or unlike any other drug out there. It works within the design that was already placed within the very words within Genesis, at the beginning of Genesis, within his own words, to create what is. And so God already had put it inside of you, and it's like turning on that divine light back on, that switch back on into your cellular memory, on into your physical and spiritual memory. And so when you are in that place, when you are poisoned up, you're going to have what feels like your body had been literally gasping for air the entire time. So when you finally do get that oxygen to fill up your body, everything that comes spinning out of you might not make sense because of such a long crime against you, but that spiritual breath is because of the trauma that's constricted you to be able to take that spiritual breath and be able to work on those thoughts. This is why it's very important for people to be able to have space, have trust, and have that real, true, honest, compassionate love within each other and their relationships with each other. So when these people are suggesting otherwise, as far as like what the concern is here, and I'm only after money and whatever, these are smear campaign artists that are literally breaking up my words so that they can suggest to say that I'm saying something completely different other than what I am. So these tactics, they lock up your chest, they lock up your muscles, your lungs, and even your blood flow. And especially when you're being given these poisons covertly, you're not going to feel like you can even move, think, or even pray right sometimes. So that is why within my prayer ministries and my testimony here, bringing it out online, it's available to me to exactly bring out those prayers to the people, because I am not going to subject my body to being deadened in this fashion just for somebody else's systemic games that they can play up over on my life. So here's what the dark systems already know. They know that if they can keep you isolated and poisoned and keep you ashamed, the touch only by harm, then is the touch that your body never gets to realize that oxytocin. So your body is already suffocating in panic, baseline on what your body is designed to carry, love. Your body was designed by love. Your cells stay in a panic mode then, and you can never baseline that story, because if you're constantly restricted in your body, your oxygen goes in, you can't get oxygen to your cell down to your cellular level. You're going to become in a panic that's going to leave you broke. Literally, it blocks your creativity, it blocks your vision, it blocks your movement, it blocks your mission, it blocks everything up inside of your life. Not only that, but when they hack and they distort and they work hard to get you all lost off out of focus, it's going to be really hard to focus. So you have to fight hard to take a stand against that, so that you can hopefully get the time in your life to focus and establish these truths in a constructive fashion to get other people to believe that you actually do need that blessing, that love, that support that you're after. And the system profits off of your collapse. If they get it, they profit. It's like hire for, or it's like murder for hire. But when someone lays their hands on you with a true, honest, heart-centered love and prays with you, and it's not at you, or it's not praying upon you, it's praying for you, it gives you a deep, trauma-aware, God-centered type of feeling inside of your body that your whole nervous system can start to remember. As if in Christ, when we pray over our food or something that we have, that can go to work in ways that we don't even have to understand, because the Lord's thoughts aren't our own thoughts. We just have to trust the Lord. So that's what we're called to do. And so when you were born worthy of all of this. What the world did was strip you of your tongue, strip you of your connectivity, and strip you from realizing that when we speak and speak to each other, speak in prayer and speak in these fashions, that we're literally speaking into a frequency that God had already designed. So what they're doing is they're trying to put up the grid of the flower of life, like I've said, in 5G, so that they can try and restrict people from their own ability to establish the truth and fight for the truth, so that they can escape that, because otherwise what they're doing is paying for something that they would already have. And mind you, money was just an instrument made and created for slavery, you see. So your body can start to become restored. Your mind can start to become reset. Your soul is not a prisoner. And they want to create war, and these wars over your body, so that you can't actually get to your heart's center. You can't figure out what's going on in there because of what's going on up here. And if you can't figure out what's going on up here because it's happening to you covertly, mind you, you didn't see these things coming. You didn't ask for them. They're happening to you covertly within their ultra reasoning of wanting to get it inside of your body. You see what I'm saying? And so you're not going to have the reasoning skills to be able to work within your heart center that same way, and out comes prayers that you otherwise wouldn't be saying in an organic fashion. You see, you're saying them in an organic fashion based on where you're at, but you're saying them already manipulated, already completely marred over. And so this fact is a part of my testimony. And that's the truth that the enemy doesn't want you to know about, is that because otherwise what people are doing is praying openly and out in public, and it's against the Bible. So if you yourself has those prayers on lock with Jesus Christ, and they're on lock with Jesus Christ, well, then you have established a full-on relationship with the Lord, and good for you for doing so. So when you do that, you can actually rely on when you pray for the Lord's discernment and you have faith and you've got a grown up faith. You can pray on the Lord's discernment, and when the Lord's discernment comes to you, you can trust it. And that's also something that the enemy doesn't want you to know about, because you have to be able to reset these things within your body, and sometimes to be able to do so, it really encourages the love and support of other people, not only in prayer, but within the physicality of what you're going through, so that just the littlest bit of love in that fashion can go fight against all of the hypersexualized, hyper-traumatized, and hyper-vigilant ways that you have had now to learn. And so because you've had to learn those things and learn that's what your body was feeling, it's going to be really hard for you, because you're going to realize that a lot of times you aren't even aware of how you would be playing things out or how you would be. You know what I mean? And this is what satanic ritual abusers do to take you up out of not only connectivity with God, like I said, but out of connectivity with yourself. And so that you're unable to listen to your own body to be able to do anything that you need to do. Like, for an example, if you're arsenic to a point, you aren't going to be able, your body might be trying to tell your brain you need to go pee, but your brain goes, oh, I need to pee, and you stand up to go, but within seconds that memory is already gone. You see what I mean? And so you're off doing a whole bunch of other things while your body is just suffocating because of the taxation of not being able to relay those messages to your body in time for you to do what you have to do. These are the same things that happen with your words. And so oftentimes I'd be sitting there writing stuff down and it would make no sense to anybody but me. Well, it's because I was only able to get to the 17th or the 86th word, if you dig, that was being spun out of my mind in an uncontrollable fashion that I couldn't see. But when you get that energy back, you're able to establish and fight these things and tell these people my autonomy is mine. You had no right to work up this way. That's when you take your power back. That's when you're going to be able to, after a long enough period of time without them, be able to get more of that oxygen coming back. Your mind is going to flood back to you. And that's why they're trying to utilize it as in the DSM manual, is if you have racing thoughts, you're depressed, you're this, that, or the other, when you are actually none of those things. You see what I'm saying? It's all of those things that they can put upon you, which would help the losers be able to get away with their ritualistic abuses over you. But the fact of the matter is that when you're able to discover these things, well, now you're able to flip the script on them, and they're not going to like it one little bit. That's why all of a sudden their so-called podunky love isn't so great anymore. It's real podunky, and you're going to be able to see it for what it is. And you're not going to want it around you because it messes with your nervous system, and they've done things that nobody should have to go through just in your body. And not just nobody, but nobody out here should have to go through in order to see where your body needs that restoration. You know, not only for your spiritual, your soul, your love life, your finances, your agility of self-control, sound mind, body, all of it. Because if someone's covertly poisoning you, much like a roofie, you don't have control of what happens to a person after that. But when I was a carpenter, those are the things that he did, or at least that one time he did. And I'm not going to replace those memories with anything else other than what I experienced in those times. Just because I've lost my memories for so long doesn't mean that my memories aren't solid. It just means that I was unable to reason through them, to be drawn back to my own autonomy, and to take back my own energy from these cucks, and be able to think about it, how to work with it in order to establish peace of mind in order so that hopefully I can get the littlest drawback of my life. Because otherwise, all of my life, just like I've said in my other works, has been completely washed away from me. Anyway, I thank you guys for being here. And if you guys do support my work, I really encourage you to share my message, and hopefully I can reach an investor. I'm working really hard out here to try and reach for breakthrough in my life due to the taxation of everything in my life about the gangstalking, organized crime, and the satanic ritual abuse that I have received. So thank you for being here and sharing my message. It means a lot to me. Love you guys. Bye.